Number in the rafter rings on his finger. For more, we say hello to the three-time All-Star Rip Hamilton. Rip, we appreciate you taking the time to react to this deal. Mitchell expected to move, but what do you make of the terms and the team he ended up on?
Well, first of all, Joe, I thought he was on his way to New York. I mean, all summer long, he's been in Manhattan, going to baseball games, uh, hanging out with his father back in New York. I thought that's where he was going. But as you see, you just never know when it comes to NBA trades. But when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, I like this move for them. Yes, they had to give up a lot. Yes, they had to give up multiple first-round picks. But when you look at this team, last year we talked about, is this, especially in the midseason, is this team a contender or was it a pretender? And a lot of us thought that last year they were pretty much a pretender. This year, I think they turned into a contender, especially adding Donovan Mitchell on this roster, a guy that can close games for you, a guy that can average mid-20s for you, a guy that's a playmaker. So I like this move for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, it is the most successful season they're coming off of a year ago since LeBron left for the second time. So trying to build off of that here by adding another nice piece. This was a first team a year ago. This roster, 9 guys averaging in double digits, and now you add a scorer like Spida. And I know you like the deal, but how much does it move the needle for you? Is this a Cavs team that's now a contender, a true contender in the Eastern Conference landscape?
Well, Joe, you know the East is very tough. I mean, I like the Eastern Conference better than I like the Western Conference right now. But when you look at this roster, you look at a guy, Darius Garland, who really played well last season, a guy that really picked up his game, especially when Sexton went down. You look at a guy like Mobley. I feel as though if Mobley can take that next step, we all know how great he is defensively, but if he can be that guy that can come out and be that Kevin Garnett of your team, a lot of special things can happen for this roster, because the one thing that I know about Donovan Mitchell, he loves when he has the ball in his hand. So other guys got to be able to play without it. And Darius Garland is a great three-point shooter, a guy that can knock down set shots, especially from the perimeter. It's going to free Mobley up, especially out there, knowing that you got another guard that's on a wing that's going to double teams are going to be coming after him night in and night out. And then you got Jared Allen, a guy that's a rim protector, a guy that can, he can throw the lob too. He's used to playing with Rudy Gobert. So this Cleveland team is going to be very dangerous, especially we can't even forget about Kevin Love, a guy that was second in six-man votes last year. So this team got a real good chance.
No doubt one to keep an eye on in the season to come. And another golf clap and a hat tip to Danny Ainge, who continues to win at the negotiation table. What Utah is trying to accomplish here, full tear down and rebuild, 3 unprotected in his pocket now. We'll see what they can do with that in the years to come. But we also do need to frame this and what we talked about a little bit earlier, what this means or doesn't mean for the New York Knicks, is they were the likely landing spot for Mitchell, a team that's been dying for star power and a fan base at that. What does this mean for the Knicks?
Oh my goodness, I'm like everybody else, right? When you look at the big market teams like the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks, they're the teams that in my opinion need a superstar. And I thought that if they got an opportunity to get Donovan Mitchell, sometimes you got to push all your chips in, because guys like this don't come around too often. But yes, Utah, Danny Ainge, he wanted everything. He understood that when he put Donovan Mitchell up there on the trade blocks, Donovan is not 30 years old. Donovan is 25 years old. So whoever gets him knows that they can have an opportunity to have him for a very long time. So he understood that if I'm a trade for him, I need some picks. I need to get some young guys back off the trade. So I thought he did a great job of negotiating, knowing what he wants. I mean, he got a new coach over there. This team is in total rebuild. They got rid of Rudy Gobert early in the season. When you look at the stat sheet, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell led them in every statistical category but assists, and that was Michael Conley. So keep an eye on Michael Conley. He might be the next guy out.
Every category except assists and conversations in the locker room, but that is a conversation for another day, Rip. We do need to assign some grades here. It sounds like an F for effort when it comes to the Knicks not getting the job done. But let's actually grade out the 2 participants here. Utah side, Cleveland side. What do the grades look like in your eyes?
Well, if I'm grading the Cleveland Cavaliers, I got to give them an A, because they went out and they pushed all the chips in to get a superstar caliber guy, a guy that can move the needle. I mean, they still got some, the fans in Cleveland, they still got a little bit of champagne taste in their mouth when LeBron James was there when they won a world championship. So they're not about rebuilding for no longer. If I got to go with the Utah Jazz, it's hard to put a grade on them right now because we got to see what these draft picks turn into, right? Because if you look at some of the past drafts, I mean, you got guys that went number 1 or number 2 that were busts. But then you also got guys that were number 1 or top 5 picks that were superstars. So I got to wait and see what they do with these picks.
All right, Rip, we appreciate you breaking it down here. The latest blockbuster deal across the association. Keep that phone close. More news is coming. All right, so you part with 3 players, 3 picks, first-rounders unprotected. And what does it mean? Well, according to our friends at Sportsline and their various simulations, not a whole lot. Win total projected at 42.9, a whopping 0.4 increase from the 42.5 prior to the Mitchell deal. But we'll all see how it plays out when Spida takes to Cleveland.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.